everyone. So balance, speed, and agility workshop. Deciding to put that finally on YouTube so you guys can have that to practice your balance, agility, speed. Again, this is not for athletes. It is for like the regular human just trying to exist and human without tripping and falling and getting hurt often and all of those things. So your balance, speed, and agility workshop. I'm just going to go through all of the exercises. A lot of them you're going to want to do for a couple of rounds, whether it's for a hold or for a rep count or something like that. So starting off with some of the balance stuff, we have just regular old standing, right? So when we're standing, we're not letting our knees shift in, we're doing that screwing our feet into the ground type of thing. Now, however, as soon as we close our eyes and we take away that sensory information that our eyes are engaging with, it's called proprioception. So that is kind of the thing that will lead you to fall off balance, or like you can easily like kind of lean back, forward, all of those things when even you're just standing with 2 feet. So that would be the first thing that you would practice, is just closing your eyes, making sure you feel stable, maybe imagining the room that you're in, making sure we're never locking our knees because then you will absolutely fall over, and kind of working and training that proprioception. So you would want to do that standing eyes open, standing eyes closed, and then we would want to go to one leg. So that one leg, again, making sure the knee is slightly bent. You don't want to lock out. You could add a toe tap, just go slightly in front so you feel comfortable, slowly raising it up to that 90-degree angle as you go. And again, once you're comfortable with this, I find staring at something in front of me is helpful. You will feel that ankle kind of wobble or your toes grip in, but once you are done with that, I like to just kind of open my palms up toward the ceiling, and then you can close your eyes again. If that starts to feel uncomfortable with being that high up, you can do toe taps. That is how I'm also losing my balance here. And you just want to do it slowly until you feel comfortable on each side with eyes opened and with eyes closed. You want to be able to do that 3 times, or what I call 3 falls. So if you're here in a balance as long as you can, as soon as you fall, or you're just going to if you're doing toe taps, you do 10 toe taps. If you're holding that balance, 3 falls, same thing with your eyes closed. Once you do 3 falls or 10 toe taps, you would switch to the other side. Then we have lunges. So lunges are a really good balance exercise because it does lead you to be off balance. So we've got those reverse lunges where we're stepping back. We got that full 90-90. You can feel free to go up and down here, but that's where that core engagement and that glute engagement comes in. We can also do a forward lunge. Now you want to make sure when you're doing a forward lunge that you're not landing on your toe to lunge forward. You're landing on that heel. Notice how it's a roll and step for that. That's also going to be better on your knees because if you're doing this, you're going to be really knee forward on that forward lunge. So if you ever have lunges that hurt your knees, make sure that you're rolling from the heel. But either one of those lunges is going to help out with balance. Again, making sure we're doing 10 on each side, forward or backward, 3 rounds. Then we've got some single leg stuff, your single leg RDLs, single leg squats, single leg hops with a stick. So we'll start with your single leg RDL. Hopefully I don't kick things. I'm going to move just a little bit farther away here so I don't. With your single leg RDL, you are a pendulum. So as you hinge, your leg's going to come back until you get to parallel, and then you come back with that tap. I see a lot of people stop here, then they kind of keep going with their chest. You don't want to do that. Your body is in a line, so you're going to follow that line. If this is all you can do, then that's where you stop. You're stopping at that line. As your leg comes up, your chest drops more, right? Until we get into that full RDL. And again, making sure we're not locking on that standing leg. 10 on each side, 3 times. Single leg squat, I recommend you have a chair for this, okay? So what I recommend doing is I'm going to use my lovely table right here. So I'm sitting on this table right at the edge of the video. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping one leg in front, the other leg, I got a nice 90, my knee's right over my ankle. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to come down. Okay, I'm sitting up and off that table. When you feel comfortable, do it without the chair. Maybe lift the leg up the entire time. Don't use it to come up and down, but a single leg squat is something that's very difficult to do. I still cannot do one with all the way down, all the way up. The farthest I can go is here, right? So it's gonna depend on your mobility and the strength that you have in your legs and your hips, but start on a chair, 10 on each side, and work your way up to without a chair. Then we have that single leg hop. So with that single leg hop, it's here. You would hop to another side and stick it. So you're here, stick it, 1, 2, 3, stick it, 1, 2, 3. Notice how I kind of overcompensated there with my toe, my heel lifted up off the ground. We do want to keep that level. And some days, honestly, your balance is gonna suck, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have days where my balance is completely off and I'm like, well, and you guys know those days, because in class I will say it verbally and be like, man, my balance sucks today, as I'm trying to demo or maybe do a stretch with you guys or whatever the case may be. So from day to day, your balance is gonna change based off of like anything going on with your inner ear, if you have vertigo, those types of things. So it's still really important to train it regardless. And again, with that single leg hop, that switch and stick, you'd wanna do that 10 times for 3 rounds. Then we have your heels up squat. So you're on your toes. If you want to, you can hang on to something. And we're down, and we're up. And we're down, and we're up. Notice how I'm a little bit more unstable as I am not doing this touching anything. So feel free to use a wall or the top of a chair, anything like that to kind of help. Again, 3 rounds, 10 reps each round. Tree pose is another good one. This is a yoga pose. Please make sure your heel, ball of the foot, is either attached right above the ankle. You can go below the knee, or you can go above the knee. I personally prefer above the ankle, under the knee. It's just my preference. Hanging out here, you can grow your branches as high as you want to. You can bring it down, but you're just holding this pose. The higher up, again, never actually on the knee, I'm still below my knee. The higher up I go, woo, as my hip pops, the more unbalanced I may become, right? So it just kind of depends on what you're doing, but it's a good one to just kind of relax. And again, this would be like 3 drops, or if you're doing one of these, 10 taps. So same thing kind of as we did with the first one. Then we have your quadruped and your single arm plank. So that quadruped, we're on the ground, we got our toes, we got our knees, under our hips, toes tucked, wrists under shoulder. That quadruped, we're going to kick out and come back. And then you would alternate the side. Obviously, I have a dishwasher directly in front of me, so I can't do that in this current video. And I would like to show you from the side, but this way I can. And notice how I'm not arching my back, I'm not rounding my back, I'm keeping it nice and even. So we'll go from this side, right? My eyes are down, I'm switching, I'm pushing, I'm pulling. That's just gonna be a good overall balance one. Single arm plank is exactly what it sounds like. You'd be in that plank position, you're gonna single arm hold. Balance and agility for the shoulders. And you wanna do that for 10 switches. Quadruped, same thing. You'd wanna do it for 10 switches. Then we get more into agility and speed. So, don't mind my out of breathness. I'm a little tired today. So, agility and speed. We've got ice skaters, which we do all the time in class, where we're behind, switching with those arms. If you want to, you can tap behind, but again, to add that balance factor, we're just going side to side, keeping that back foot out and up and out of the way. You can go for speed or for length on that one, or width. And you want to go 10, 3 rounds. Then we have your single leg hops. So that's not like the this way hop. It's forward, it's backwards, it's side, it's side. You can go in a square, but you'd want to do you know, a few steps forward. I like to do 2-3 steps forward, 2-3 steps back, 2-3 steps to the side, 2-3 steps to the other side. So you're kind of going here, or you're going up and around in a square, whatever the case may be. But you want to do 10 of a few forward, 10 of a few back, side and side. It's always going to be 10. You can also do it for a time limit where you have like 30 seconds to do it on one leg, whether it's the whole entire square or just like forwards for 30, backwards for 30, whatever the case may be. Just make sure you're doing both legs. Then we've got zigzag. So that's like your zigzag hops. You can do it single leg. You can do it double leg. There's a lot of different things, but making sure that you are able to correct and hold all of these specific movements so that, say you accidentally, like someone trips you, you can catch yourself, you know? So although it seems like an athletic thing, I promise it's not. It's just very good to kind of know and feel confident in your body. If something were to happen, you trip and you can catch yourself without injury. So, side to side hops we already mentioned. Toe taps is kind of a different one. So it's not like our toe taps in front, although that is one of them and you can do it, but these are a different type of toe tap. It's almost like a high knee. So our high knees, right, we're here. With the toe tap high knee, you're actually going to be hitting the inside of that foot. So it's here and you're switching. So it's almost like that switch and hold, but you're adding a little rotation onto your hips. Then we've got your Heismans. So that's your holding, your 1, 2, 3 hold, 1, 2, 3 hold. And going back and forth, you'd want to do 10, 3 rounds as always for all of these things, or for a time. It's for a time, it's 30 seconds. And then we've got some squat hops as your last one. So you're hopping forward, backward, to the side, and maybe to the other side again. All of these things are meant to build up those leg muscles, your quads, your glutes, your hip flexors, your hamstrings, your knee stabilization, your calves, and your ankle stabilization and foot stabilization. When we do things like agility, speed, and balance, when we're hopping around, which obviously is exhausting because you can hear I'm a little breathy right now. Whew. So that is your balance, speed, and agility workshop. Obviously, I did not go through the whole thing full out because that would be a lot for me to do. But I wanted to show you each of the exercises that you could do for this workshop, and then pick a few that you want to work on every single day and do those for 10 reps, 3 times, or 30 seconds each side, 3 times through. Work on those until you feel super confident in them, and then you'd move on to the next new 3 that you would be working on, or 3 to 5 exercises that I would say to work on until you feel solid in them. And that will help you, honestly, in just everything that you do as a human being. So that is your speed, agility, balance workshop.